everybody, what's up? The energy that I was getting for us starting off with is connected with something going on where your intuition is going to play a big part in this. It's coming up for some reason where I'm seeing it's going to be important in some situation that's developing. We are starting off with 9 of Cups. We have 9 of Cups, we have 10 of Pentacles, we also have 4 of Swords. And I'm seeing the Star and 3 of Cups. Okay. You can actually have something going really well for you. I feel like if something is being accomplished that you wanted to accomplish, that now it can be allowing you to relax. I'm seeing this be like something really, really good that you have going on. Actually, I feel kind of surprised. Like I wasn't really expecting this energy. I was seeing a lot of, in the pre-shuffle, I was seeing some situation where it was bringing up this thing about you having to listen to your intuition, given some situation that's developing. But what I was also seeing too is that there could have been something coming up where you really had to trust yourself or listen to yourself, or even like maybe set boundaries with yourself about something. Now, I don't know if that's going to tie into the reading. Looking at 9 of Cups and then looking at 10 of Pentacles, this shows a very strong desire for something, and it can be to complete something, to achieve something, to have something, for something to come to fruition. Then having that 4 of Swords, I feel actually like this thing is happening. Like 10 of Pentacles can be when what you've been working on does materialize. 4 of Swords can be like, okay, well, now that that's happened, it's come to fruition because it's a 10, so nothing else is going to happen after that. It shows the completion of a cycle. Having that 4 of Swords after is like, okay, now I can relax. I don't need to immediately go into working on something else because this thing has completed, and I'm seeing this is something that you wanted very badly to accomplish. Having that 9 of Cups next to it, and then having the Star and having the 3 of Cups, this is something where it can bring people together, or it can bring your people close to you, or it can be something where you can be like celebrating with your guides. I see 3 of Cups sometimes as having to do with that too. So whatever this is, I'm seeing it be like actually a really jovial time as it relates to this. Now, that doesn't mean that there's nothing else going on, you know, like sometimes you can have something really great going on, and then in other areas of your life, maybe you're struggling a little bit, whatever. So it's not to like take away or detract or like emphasize this over anything else. You probably have other things going on as well. This isn't about those other things. This is about this particular thing. So overall, I see something important that's happening. I see this be something that you wanted. I'm seeing this also allows you to rest, or it allows you to take a break, or you feel like you can be at ease now because of this happening. And I imagine prior to this, a lot of effort had to be put in for this, or like a lot of pieces had to be moved around. And now it actually just feels with the Star and 3 of Cups like you can just enjoy this moment. So that may be what you're doing right now. It can feel too with the Star and 3 of Cups like the stars align in this moment for you too. I see this notion of sharing with that 3 of Cups. Okay, I'm also seeing a 2 of Cups coming out. I wonder if this is a time when you feel like you saw something and you're like, I gotta have it, or like I need to connect with that person, or like I need to be working on this project. I feel like something that, like 9 of Cups, 2 of Cups feels like something that resonates with you on a very, very, very deep level. There could also be a celebration happening too. This can be an event that you're going to. I see a chance for you to connect with something or someone that you wanted to connect with. And I feel like having that star there means that things aligned so this could happen. So maybe it feels like, well, I was hoping for this, but some of this was kind of out of my hands. But I wanted it. I really wanted it to happen. You have Two of Cups leading into Page of Wands. Yeah, I'd say that this is about you connecting. This can be a project that you're connecting with. It can be a person that you're working with. It can be a relationship. It's going to be something where you're kind of like getting on that train, and that's what you're going to be doing. And for some of you, I'm seeing that you're not alone in doing this. I'm seeing somebody be with you. But that doesn't always have to be the case. I just want to put that out there. Like for some of you, this can be, technically it could be a solo thing that you have going on, but it's something that you would feel like really, you know what, something just like it fits perfectly, that would be the feeling about this. Like the way that the feeling surrounding this and how it resonates with you, it will be something so deep and it will be something so true, having Two of Cups and having the Page of Wands there, kind of like this would be my top choice, and it's that thing. So you're somewhere that you want to be working on, something that you want to be working on. And for those of you that you have another person involved, this will be somebody that the like end goal of what you're trying to achieve, or like really what you're trying to accomplish and do here, they would be on the same page with you. So this can be somebody that you share strong values with, at least as far as this is concerned. So if another person's involved, there can definitely be an element of collaboration. In the middle, I'm seeing a break. So maybe something was going on, it was feeling very high intensity. And so there can be some time to kind of kick back and relax. This can be something too where it's like you want it very badly, but it also takes a lot of work. But then with that Three of Cups, it can be like it's really happening and things are really good because of that. And there's like a lot of happiness and joy. But I see overall it can be something high intensity. But it's something that you want, so it's worth it. Some of you guys, you may actually be reconnecting with someone. I'm seeing the Lovers and I'm seeing Three of Swords, but Three of Swords is more so I'm looking at as like a clarification for Three of Cups. So this can mean like reconnecting or reconciling after something had happened, where there could have been space actually between you and this other person. We'll do another layer and see. I'm seeing Gemini and Aquarius. Yeah, this is the energy that I was seeing in the pre-shuffle. I was seeing Queen of Swords and I was seeing Seven of Swords coming up, which means like you really need to be using your discernment, making sure that you're being clear about everything that's going on. You know, having Two of Cups, like now that more cards are coming out, having Two of Cups and then having Page of Wands, let's say that this is a relationship. It can be somebody that you feel a really strong connection with this person, but then having Ten of Wands, there can be something about the dynamic that really stresses you out, something about the relationship with this person that's really difficult, and there can also be like a lot of wounding maybe in the environment between the two of you. And when I say that, it can be things like things having to do with accepting people for who they are and being honest about that. And it can be being real about the relationship, and can also be about the difficulties of things. Because this Three of Swords is giving me an energy where I think sometimes when we're looking at people as we want them to be rather than as they actually are, the pain can be the space between the two of those things. Like the difference between the two of those things. Like when there's full acceptance, there's nothing really like painful going on because we're just accepting everything as it is. But when we don't want to accept things as they are, it's painful because we're in conflict about stuff. So just have to throw that out there. And also too, because I'm seeing this Seven of Swords be coming out too, like having Three of Wands and then having Seven of Swords, there can be something going on where the direction is getting kind of clouded here. Because if Three of Wands is where you intend to go, where you want to be going, Seven of Swords can be stuff that is getting in the way of that happening. So it can be something that regresses you rather than progresses you. Three of Wands wants to progress forward. Seven of Swords will regress you backwards. So there can be something going on here that has to be looked at. Maybe this is also too, like, are you maybe wanting something that, having Nine of Cups be connected with Seven of Swords, you can look at something and feel like you want it, but with the Seven of Swords, there can be sides to it that are not being seen right now. There can be elements to this that are not being seen too. So it's like you may only be seeing maybe half of the picture, but maybe that was also something that was going on. Like maybe, let me think about this. If Nine of Cups is what you really want, having Seven of Swords can be stuff that's getting in the way of it, but it can sometimes be things that we're not aware of because we're not seeing things clearly. Because Seven of Swords can be a card of ignorance, you know, like of us not seeing the whole thing, not having the whole truth. Ignoring our intuition at times can be not going where we want to be going. Like having Seven of Swords be connected with the Star. The Star can be what you feel like your genuine path is, like where it feels like it's most resonant for you to be, the path that you're meant to be traveling upon, and what you really want and hope for yourself. Seven of Swords can be things that are getting in the way of you being where you're meant to be. And it may be possibly because you're getting maybe sidetracked here. Like, I wonder with Nine of Cups and Seven of Swords if something is presenting as what you want, but there could be like a hidden clause, or it could be like it looks like it, but it isn't actually. We have to pull more cards and see and get more about this energy. Okay, so it's like this. This can be something that you want and you want it to work, but it may have you doing like 90% of the work, and whoever, whatever, it can be like a company on the other side, or it can be a person that's on the other side. So it can be like maybe you're collaborating with someone and it's like you're going in 50-50, but you're doing like 95% of the work, and it's not a type of work that, I don't know if you're totally content with doing that. It may be too much. You're not getting help, and this actually like is out of balance, but you may still want to participate in it. It can be something like that. Something about like things making it really hard for you to do your job, but I see something being unfair. Where it actually feels like you want something that is going to be like 50-50 for the most part, or like when you average, it's about 50-50 things, because it doesn't always have to be 50-50, but if you're participating in something, it's gonna have to, like, whatever the compensation energetically is going to need to equate to like the energy that's being put in. Otherwise something is not going to be sustainable, just like the energetic math of things. There may be something going on that things are out of balance, and it's an issue. Some of you too, you could maybe not be being told something important. But this can also be you having a message for yourself that maybe you haven't been listening to. Like, maybe this goes against what your higher self has been communicating with you, and you're like, but I want it so badly, I want to do it anyway, but maybe this like isn't a good look for you. Maybe. Or maybe this is even like keeping you in some spot, and it's not allowing you to progress forward, so you may want it, but it may not be in your best interest. That could be something too. So you have to be real and you have to be honest with yourself about this. And like, I think the effect that this is having on you, or that this would have on you. Because it could be something where maybe you like the person, maybe you like the project, but having 10 of Wands and having the Lovers and the Three of Swords, it can be something where like maybe you will show up 100%. Maybe there's something going on with this other person where like maybe it's not a good vibe for you to be involved with them in this way, just because of where they are. Like maybe it's unfair to you in some way, and even though you can write that off and be like, yeah, but I really like them a lot, maybe there's something that you need to look at here, because there's some type of issue with this. But it can be maybe something that you don't want to admit to, because this is like a project that you really care about, or it's like or a person that you really care about, which it feels like that. This feels like something where you like want this to work, but there's a possibility that this doesn't work. And I don't think that it's on your end. I actually think that it's on the end of whoever else this has to do with. I feel like you and this person, you may be kind of in different places, which is fine, but for this, it's an issue. Like there's something going on where having to do with like energetically where they are and energetically where you are. Because if you were working, now that doesn't mean you don't feel connected with this person. But what it does mean is that because of where they are, they can be like really dragging on your energy. Like this can be somebody where it's like they are flailing and drowning in the water. And it's like if they were just swimming and you were just swimming, y'all could just swim around in the water. But they are flailing in the water and they're holding on to you, and they're gonna like sink the ship for both of you guys. So it's like in being in too close of a proximity with this person, I just get something like that with them. So you can be trying to tread water for both of you guys right now. But I get something about like it's getting to the point where you're starting to drown. Because this isn't, you know, sometimes you can save the person in the water. This is not one of those times. This looks like a time when it can actually be like you're gonna get in trouble because of this. Like it's gonna have some type of impact. It can even already be having some type of impact on you that takes you off of your path. And it has to do with, I'm not saying specifically, I get something energetically having to do with this person. Which means like they may be aware of it, they may not be aware of it. I don't know what the deal is with that. I'm not going to try to like infer anything, but what I do see is something that would not have a good effect on you. Now that doesn't mean that you don't feel connected, you know, like that's the thing with these energies, is that there can still be a really big magnetic pull. However, this can be something that it's gonna mess with the bigger picture of what you have going on within your life. for some of you too, it can be because this person is not honest. Like, they may not be ready to be seen. There can be something like that with their energy. Like, they cannot be stepped fully into their energy. I want to be deliberate with the way that I talk about this, because it's not like some sort of judgment on this other person and where they are. That, like, I feel like if you get to a certain level of intertwining with this person, there's something about the energetic impact that will have on you that will be disruptive and will take you out of alignment. And I don't get exactly why that is, but that's what's coming through for this. It feels like it will take you off track, and I don't know how, but I'm seeing that that's the case. And it has to do with something like where you are in the vibration that you're at and where this person is in the vibration that they're at. And I see something about them not being honest. So that means too, they can be like off track within their life, but they can be, they can just be operating from a shadow energy. They can be operating, they can be really motivated by fear. They can be motivated by performing. There's just something that I feel like it, for some reason, clashes with you. And I'm seeing something about it dragging your energy down. I'm trying to feel into this more to get a better idea about this. I feel too like you have to ignore your intuition or like certain insights in order to maybe maintain a relationship with this person too. Like, meaning this is somebody I don't think that you can hold them accountable unless you have boundaries. Because if you were to confront them, they can be somebody that they won't have that conversation with you, so you can't really get anywhere. So then it feels like they mess with the foundation of what you have. So to rely on them heavily, to be heavily involved, maybe this is somebody where you can keep it surface level with them, but they can't get heavily involved within your life. Otherwise it starts messing with things that you have going on. So maybe there's something about knowing what's an appropriate limitation to put on this. You can't bring everybody anywhere. You can't bring anybody everywhere. Or no, you can't bring everybody everywhere with you for the most part. There are different situations and different relationships for different things that you have going on. And there are maybe some people, maybe a few people that you can kind of bring anywhere with you, and then there can be other relationships that may not necessarily be the case. Just like you can have certain conversations with certain people and certain conversations you can't really have with other people. I mean, you can try to, but you may not get very far doing that. I see somebody that, whether they do it on purpose or not, I see that they take advantage of you. And then if you try to confront them about it, it's like they will find a way to evade that. So this is also somebody that they can be very unconsciously manifesting. This is also somebody that they can be creating from a place that is not truth, but something else. But I'm seeing, because you're in a different place, this is going to be an issue for you. I'm seeing you're building with real stuff and they are not. You're building with real stuff. I'm seeing this person is not building with truth. And so basically they can be creating a false reality that then you, for some reason, will get sucked into. You have to bear the weight of that. It's basically you keep getting bent. I'm seeing this person in relation to you, their frequency can be very different, which is not it's not an inherent thing. It's a frequency that's based off of choices. The frequency of your choices is at a different frequency than this other person's choices, the motivations for your choices. And so I'm seeing something about you getting bent. And it feels very close to snapping because of how big of a difference is between the energies. Now, I'm not talking about good and bad. I'm saying there's a difference in the frequency, and there's something that for some reason, like, you have to be the one to bear the weight of this. It's like the thing about being in the water with this person again, you know, like you're treading water, you're fine, but you get close to this person, it's like they're drowning anyway, so it doesn't make a big difference. But like, you have to bear the weight of it if you're too close to them, because they'll hold on to you and drown you too. And may even like stand on your shoulders and hold you underwater so they can keep their head above water. So it can be something where it's like the only person that's really going to suffer from this is going to be you, and they will be the only ones benefiting. So there's like an offset to it. Trying to think of like other ways to say this too. Like, I just get like your energy can be kind of like fed off of a little bit. But the thing about this is that you'll have feelings about this, and I think overall the way that you'll know what this is that you can't confront this person, because there's a difference between somebody being in a space where maybe they're doing something and you bring awareness to that, and then they'll have a conversation and they're like, oh, well, like, I didn't even realize, and then you guys like grow together and stuff. That is one thing, because like we all make mistakes, right? But this will be somebody that they'll like run away, so you can't have those conversations, or like they'll avoid, or they'll be like, yeah, I hear you, and then it's like they keep doing the same thing. It's something like this where like you're in a different, something about you guys being in a different place with one another, and that it's like not, it's for some reason harmful to you energetically, having this person be like, you have to limit how close or like how intertwined and how involved you get with them. But having that Two of Cups and then having Page of Wands there, it looks like you have an opportunity to like have things going on with this person and to actually have like a really close relationship with them. But I'm just seeing it be like, it's not a good idea. But that doesn't mean that you don't want it any less, but there's something just about, I keep getting this thing about when you're too close with this person, something about their energy and the way that it impacts you, and that it's like it does something to your energy that's not good, like it's harmful in some way to your energy. I'm trying to pick up examples or something, but it feels like a little bit elusive to me about this. But what is at the basis of this is that they're not in a place of truth, and that's what this is about. Where there's a lack of accountability and there's a lack of honesty, so you can't work with that then. And for some reason, like, you get then the like karmic weight of that, even though it's not yours. But if you agree to be close with them like this, you're basically like taking on their karma essentially. So the way that it will stress you to be closely or like heavily involved with them, it's actually meant to help you, to deter you from doing this. That doesn't mean you can't keep putting up with it. You definitely can. But then you could also feel like you're ignoring the advice that you've been giving to yourself, like ignoring your intuition. This can also be somebody where like they wear a bit of a mask within their life too. So they can, I just get something about them like being untrustworthy. But again, that doesn't mean that they're necessarily like deliberately lying to your face. It can just be like they're not honest maybe about like the way that they're living their life or something like that. And that the way that ripples and has an effect on things. I'm getting this just like overall be a really, like, this has to do with energetics. It's not like some moral judgment on the way that somebody's living their life. It's more about how this will have a rebound effect on you and how you'll take on this person's karma. And that this is meant to help you heal by having boundaries and whatnot. But that's also why the connection can feel painful too. But it can be upsetting because it can still be something that you want. So yeah, this person, they operate from a shadow frequency, and I'm seeing them be motivated by fear, and their life will be an echo of that. You know what's coming through too is that this is reminding me of, now I don't know if this is like a little bit controversial to bring up, and there are different schools of thoughts. I'm not saying that this is like some truth, some universal truth that everybody has to agree with. It's just a school of thought. But it reminds me of how there's this I don't know if she's considered a medical medium, but like one of the medical mediums speaks about when people physically grow like certain like cysts or certain like masses within their body, that it has to do, I think like specifically this is like more like in a reproductive way, that it can be connected with like building upon some like false reality. That's just immediately what's coming to mind when I'm thinking about this energy, which is just like it can be about ignoring one's true feelings about things. I feel like this is getting so long-winded. It can be about ignoring one's true feelings about things and trying to like dismiss them and pretend something else is going on, and then build like a false life based off of that. And that there can be physical implications because of this. I'm not saying that's where everything comes from. It's just a school of thought, but it's like kind of reminding me of this a little bit. You know, the things that can be picked up on and absorbed and taken in, and the things that we grow within ourselves that are connected with spiritually and psychologically what's going on, and like what frequencies we're tuned to. So yeah, I think that it specifically has to do with this person and the way that they live their life, because that doesn't even mean that they'll like necessarily be like you got to look out because I'm going to come after you. I'm not really seeing something like that. It can just be because of like the way that they're living their life, you know, that you'll also be treated in that same way. And I'm not saying that this person, like I'm not saying good or bad or anything like that. It's just more so like if fear motivates somebody's choices, they are going to make those sort of choices within the dynamic that you have with them. Like if some sort of deceit motivates this person's choices, you better believe that there's going to be that type of stuff going on within the dynamic. And I'm not even seeing it be like them like necessarily trying to be like that, but it's just going to bleed in because that's the register that they're at right now. So that's what's going to happen. So yeah, like what you want for this versus what it may actually be could be different. I think it's about asking yourself if that's really the case with this. Because this looks like, for some of you, this person is like coming back around, or maybe this person has been around, but it feels like something that this could even be like a new thing potentially that you could get started with them. Or it can be something that you've been trying to work on with them. For some of you, I'm seeing this be like a continuation where you can be getting to the point and you can be like, why does it feel like, why does this take so much energy? And that's really what this is about. That's where it comes from. The thing is that if this person changes and they start like living their life differently and making different choices, things could actually really work with you guys, but they're coming through in a different frequency right now. So it's not to say this person is like always going to be like this. People can change. It really is possible. But I think this is just about being honest with things as they are now. For some of you, you've known this person for a long time. But this does have to be corrected, otherwise it's going to be messing with you. Like it has been, it seems. I wonder too, for some of you, something happened and you may have had like a little bit of a break from this person, and then it's like you come back and it's like very soon it starts feeling heavy again like that. And it's because of the other person's energy. But if you participate in this, you choose if you participate in this and how much you participate in this. But I get something where it's like, when you're like off doing your own thing, minding your business, you feel one way. And you can have like lots of amazing relationships. You get connected with this person, it's a different story with them. And that can also be telling too. Even if it's not anything like really obvious, it can be something that you're subtly feeling, and that's where this is coming from. It's kind of like, I see if they were at a different frequency, that it seems like you guys would actually be able to like have stuff be sustainable, but because of the frequency that they're choosing to operate from right now, it like creates some offset within the energy where it like makes you guys energetically incompatible, and it means that you, for some reason, you get like hit with a bunch of weight energetically for some reason. But they'll feel lighter being around you. It's something like that, because it has to balance. So like they're in one space and you're in another space, and there's like an offset within the energy. They'll feel lighter around the energy with you, like things are easier, you know, that like they can really gravitate towards you because of that, but then it like pulls you down. So yeah, this can be somebody that they really like you and they really like your energy, but it's because they're like siphoning and benefiting from it. So, but you're the one that gives permission for that to happen with your energy. Nobody can do that unless you give energetic permission for that, okay? All right, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting and tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.